Hemingway wrote, "There is no hunting like the hunting of man, and those who have hunted armed men long enough and liked it, never care for anything else thereafter." When I received this replay from ShyGuy204, I was delighted. It had been quite a while since I had seen anything from him. I always enjoy watching Shy Guy fly. He is a hunter. He's very careful, very methodical. He always makes sure that he is in an advantageous position. He selects his targets carefully and times his attacks with great precision. He knows the value of patience in setting up his attacks. And he's also fully aware that you not only need to think tactically, but strategically in certain matches, to be a few moves ahead of your opponents and control the field of battle completely. This match is a great example of just that. It was extremely long, and I'm going to present to you some excerpts of it to give you a general idea of how this particular battle played out. He has surveyed the situation below him from high altitude, made his target selection, and this hunt is about to begin. Two perfect passes and two downed aircraft later, Shy Guy grabs as much altitude as he can, heading up over 6 kilometers. You see, the match hasn't gone well for Shy Guy's team, and the enemy fancies that it's their turn to be the hunter, and that Shy Guy is the hunted. 2 aircraft have moved into position below him, attempting to track him down. But Shy Guy has anticipated this. He's maintained the high ground. Everything below him is his hunting ground. There are a number of AI-piloted bowfighters in the area too, circling at high altitude. He makes note of their existence and then dismisses them for the moment. His attention is all for the enemy pilots below. While the enemy pilots are certainly aware of his presence, they're not coordinating with each other very well. Shy Guy waits, He has patience. He looks for an opening where the two pilots move far enough apart that he will have an opportunity to launch a successful attack without setting him up for a return attack from the other pilot. The A-36 in particular is out of his element at this altitude and appears to be struggling a bit. The Typhoon is of greater concern. It's the more dangerous aircraft to him, in his judgment. However, at lower altitudes in particular, both aircraft are fully capable of causing him great harm. He can't afford to lose the advantage of altitude and speed that he currently possesses. Timing and positioning in this 2 versus 1 are going to be critical. The A-36 has lost his elevator and will eventually go down. Now for the Typhoon. He makes it look easy, doesn't he? The hard part is setting up the attack situation to begin with, and controlling the airspace around you. There is only one pilot left on the enemy team, but he appears to be laying low at the moment. In fact, that pilot's name is Love Hiding. Now, Shy Guy's concern is that Love Hiding is going to do just that. He's going to stay out of sight and draw out this match to either a draw or sneak in and pick off either ground targets or the AI aircraft that are in the area and force a win for the other team through that method. Well, as any hunter knows, when your prey is being elusive, your best course of action is to set a trap and bait it properly. Shy Guy decides that his wisest course of action at the moment, since he's already at the appropriate altitude, is to go after the enemy AI-piloted bowfighters in the area. It may draw Love Hiding out of hiding, and if nothing else, it will provide an advantage in the ticket count for AI aircraft and ground targets eliminated. That should force Love Hiding's hand. It will force him to make some sort of an attack on the map, and it will give Shy Guy an idea of where to go looking for him. This plan, while clever, does have its risks. Bowfighters are tough, and Shy Guy's supply of ammunition is somewhat limited. He's going to have to gamble on taking these bowfighters down very efficiently. Otherwise, he's going to have to risk a landing back at his home airfield to rearm. Still, his plan is sound, and it's his best chance of pulling Love Hiding out where he can be dealt with. That's one bowfighter down, and a second one's close at hand. Unfortunately, this bullfighter is tough and stubbornly refuses to go down, forcing Shy Guy to expend far more ammunition on him than he would have liked. By the time he does go down, Shy Guy's guns are just about dry. 2 bullfighters down is going to have to do, and Shy Guy is going to have to return to base. He has no choice now. Still, the trap has been set. All that remains is to see if Love Hiding will step into it and reveal his presence. While he rearms, Shy Guy is going to keep one eye on the sky overhead and one eye on the combat messages to see if another ground target or air target has been hit. It's an exercise in patience to see if his prey will be foolish enough to step into the trap. Once rearmed and in the air again, Shy Guy is going to head away from the arena of combat. He doesn't want to be anywhere close that would potentially spook Love Hiding and keep him from engaging. And while he's at it, he's going to gain the altitude he's going to need to bring this battle to a close. He doesn't have to wait long. Love Hiding has made his move. He's going for the German AI aircraft high overhead. Shy Guy is going to point the nose of his BF-109 in that direction and move to engage. Closing the distance takes time, and a more experienced pilot would have made his attack and vacated the area. But Love Hiding doesn't have that level of experience under his belt. He's loitered in the area, and Shy Guy now has the advantage of altitude over him and knowing exactly where that last aircraft is. Shy Guy's trap has worked to perfection, and now all that remains is to finish this match. When he realizes he's under attack, Love Hiding throws his nose up and yanks his aircraft violently to the side in an attempt to evade. He could have had an advantage here in positioning, but instead he panics. He rolls the plane over, points his nose at the ground, and attempts to dive out. Shy Guy will pursue, but he really doesn't need to. In his haste to escape the engagement, Love Hiding goes completely vertical. His control surfaces lock up, and he plows his plane deeply into the countryside below. This match was a great example of a truly good pilot controlling virtually every aspect of each engagement he entered into. So much so that in the end it was the enemy pilot's fear and recognition of this fact that finally secured the win for Shy Guy's team. Thanks for turning in this replay, Shy Guy. Don't be such a stranger. And until I see you guys again, good hunting. Thanks for watching. I hope you were entertained. If you liked the video, please remember to subscribe. And if you're already a subscriber, thank you. And I'll see you next time.